What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. We're going to be doing a smoky bronzy look. We're going to be adding some golds, but I'm going to be basically just showing you a lot of smoky effects, starting with the liner, building up to a smoky full-blown look. It's sort of one look that'll get you here, but along the way is a lot of stopping points that could also be a look. So hopefully I'm giving you a lot out of this video. I'd like to give you guys a lot of inspiration. There's no reason to stick to my color story, but hopefully all of these techniques will still be helpful for you. I went ahead with just a smoky bronze today, and I've got some new Moira products, or new to me Moira products, to show you. It's been a while since I've ordered with them. I wanted to start with something new that I had. I just recently did a purchase from Moira, and I haven't got to do that in a while, and this was replacing one of my favorite cheek products from them, which is the Love Heat cream blushes, and I got it in this pretty pink color. Last time I got more of like the lighter peach shade. This is I Understand You color 18. And I like dipping into it with this e.l.f. putty brush. I do all my cream and liquid products with this, so that's gonna be what we play with for cheeks. I've been doing this really fun color combination. This isn't new by any means. This is the Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator, and this is in the shade Gleam. It's like a rose gold kind of shade. I will also be applying that with the same brush. So I'm going to go in with this first, disperse it with the nozzle onto the brush. A lot of people recommend doing it on the back of your hand to kind of get the effect that I'm going for, but that's just how I do it. So this is the highlighter, but I'm going to use it to more like get an illuminating cheek. I'm going to use it more like a blush base, I guess. And I'm going to go back and forth just to get a smooth shade. And I'm going right into my foundation with this. If you're going to use this technique, I recommend like sheer layers. I do really like this product, but if you're not careful or let too much dry too quickly, you can get like a streaking effect. But for this one, I like to use it to illuminate my blushes. Highly recommend the e.l.f. putty brushes for any of your liquid and cream products, like just bouncing it in like this. I'm gonna dip into this color next. It's pretty pink for me, but if I go light and sheer it out, this is a nice. This product has like this glossiness to it without being like glossy sticky. I don't want to cover everything I just did, but I am gonna kind of top over it. I don't want too much pink going on. So I kind of focus here and then just blend upward. It's such a pretty combination. I've been really liking that since I picked this up. Just these two together like that. I had to show you that, even though I do want to focus a majority of today's video on an eye look. Okay, now that I'm done with like all my cream and liquid products, I am going to start setting with powders. I'm going to use this under my eyes to set and brighten, and this does like a really good job blurring. This is the NYX HD finishing powder in the shade Banana. Next, I'm going to go in with Unearthly Cosmetics blush. Isn't this the cutest packaging? The color is really beautiful and neutral and like pink leaning too. It doesn't have that much luminosity to it, which is why I like to do this base, but this base routine that I'm doing today definitely brings out the luminosity in this. It's just very, very subtle, which is what I wanted, but it's almost too subtle. This technique really helps bring that out. I'm just gonna go over where I put that Bubblegum Moira shade, and I'm being really, really delicate. Luckily, this is a powder where it's really hard to overdo it. It's very sheer, it's very buildable. It reminds me a lot of like a Clinique blush, and that's why I keep those around. Is I go overboard with cheap products so easily, and I don't mind when I do it with bronzer or even contour or even highlight, but when I start to have like too much pinky going on my cheeks, I don't like it. I have a ton of eyeliners that I'm using, and I use these quite often on like a day-to-day basis. I just need to mention them more on camera. I love ColourPop's gel liner formula. It's like my favorite eyeliner formula. And to be fair, I haven't tried like a ton, and I always go more drugstore leaning, but I don't really go out and search for another one. I always come back to these. This is the first time I've purchased a brown shade from them instead of like something colorful. I've gone through many gel liners from them, but never a brown or black. It's always been something like mint or purple or pink. So this one is a Sunnyvale. It's very pretty. It doesn't have too much orange or red to it. I also have the shade, I think this is, yeah, Honeydew. It's just like a nude liner, and sometimes it can almost be too much, but I like it with like a very bright or heavy makeup look just to kind of open up my eyes a little bit. So I'll use these two, and then for liquid liners, I will use these two. One is NYX, and it is a milk chocolate eyeliner. I really like this one. It's a brown, and it kind of has like a watercolor effect to it. So it's like translucent and not fully opaque, and then I can kind of build on it. So it can give you like a really subtle like cat eye and kind of look soft, or it's really good for a smoky eye, and then I'll use like a black liner along with it. So that's what I'll probably do today. This is the Jumbo liquid liner from Moira. I replaced my other one. I used up my other one and then replaced it with this. Last but not least, I just don't talk about these enough on my channel, but these are the NYX eye pencils, eye crayons. These are so good. I have a handful of these that I have very specific uses for. They're a great makeup staple. So today I will show you the under eye effect I like to use this with and get. This one's called French Fry. The one that I really love is also called Yogurt. It is like white leaning pink, and it is perfect to just pop right in the inner corner and like tap. So pretty. I also like it as like an outer under eye. It gives like a highlighted effect which bounces light off your eyes in most cases. Like, you know, I'm doing a lot of deep dark eyeshadow under my eyes, but when I'm trying to do something soft, subtle, clean makeup, whatever you want to call it, those days I'll do that effect, and it's really pretty. It bounces light off and just makes you look so awake. I will show that in another video if you guys are interested, but today we're just going to work with French Fry. I'm going to start with the ColourPop eyeliners and just sort of contour. I'm going to put the lighter shade in the eye, the waterline, here in the inner corner a little bit, and then the brown shade I'm going to do on the lash line just under it. And this is a very pigmented shade, so I kind of tap it in and then like I'll smear it with a brush. And now we're going to work on the wing. We're just mapping out like the base of my look. I'm gonna start setting with brown eyeshadow, and I mean, there's a ton of brown eyeshadows, and you can lean more red, more orange, more neutral, more cool. I'm gonna try and keep more like warm neutral. I'm gonna use this one for Morphe, this brown here. This is a pretty nice matte brown. I do struggle with the longevity of this palette though. Just kind of use this domed flat brush and just kind of pack it on over the darker liner and then slightly under it. So you'll get like a smoky effect by setting what's there and then also blending. Blending the bottom of the line basically. And you can pull this down and go like as smoky as you want to go. I'm going to do the same thing on the top eye. I'm going to be kind of like turning the brush onto its side, so instead of packing on the flat and like drawing with it, I'm actually going to be kind of going on its side a little bit. And same thing, I'm going to go over that very light brown all the way across. I only brought the brown to the lash line, so again, we'll get this blended effect from where we're setting and where we're kind of going right in. You can pack on just really as many layers as needed. Try to keep it soft for now, because it just helps as you add on each layer. Something I didn't quite mention when I noticed when I was doing the second eye is it's really important to kind of connect the bottom lash underneath and kind of fill in this little space here. Now I'm going to take that black jumbo liner and I'm going to go very close to the lash line. I'm not going to go, you can do whatever you want, but I'm going to keep it in line with my lashes, so kind of leave the inner corner alone for now. And I'm going to keep this line really, really thin and close to the lash line. So that was just the top lashes. I left this kind of cat eye situation alone for now. I really like this technique, just kind of building everything, and then obviously if I were finishing up, I'm gonna keep going, but like if I were finishing up, I would do like a lighter shade on top as my last color and blend that out. But for now, I'm gonna keep going with this look, but I just wanted to show you that like you could even stop here. I'm gonna go into this ColourPop That's So Taupe palette. The idea is I'm going to take, even though I used warm tones here, I'm going to take cooler browns and kind of, I think I'm going to create like a halo eye effect. And I'm going to start in this inner part of my lid and just contour right into my brow. I generally like to do like a swirling motion here, just right in like my eye socket, like bridge of my nose area, and then I slightly swipe out once there's like very little left on the brush. And I kind of tilt my head to the side, and I'm also going to be doing this kind of in here. Okay, so the next phase is to do everything all over the lid and just make this really big and bright. The base I'm going to be using is French fries. If you wanted this look initially and less of the eyeliner look, you could just start with this step and honestly skip everything I've done to this point, or even reverse it, do what I'm doing now and then do the process I just did. I just kind of wanted to show you some different looks along the way as I build up my makeup, so that's why I did it in this format. Hopefully that's helpful and not confusing because I keep talking about different options. So again, you could just stop right here, and I could, and I would, but we're gonna go all over the lids with this French fry shade. It's much more golden and warm. The reason I like to have those eyeliners is like a map or a guide, so I don't go too far from where I want to. Because I want this to be smoky, but like maintain that cat eye shape. I'm going to go all the way up to my crease, very gently, because this will smoke out a lot. It's kind of a waxy product. But it's so pretty. It has this like golden sheen to it. This is definitely a great one and done. Another great method is even just putting it directly on the brush. And then I like to use this dense fluffy brush and just kind of right at the edge of where you stop, just go over it in one direction and just kind of very gently tap. Tap and drag. You do not want to pull on your eyelid. And I'm kind of just following the shape of the contouring curve in my eyelid and staying very much in the crease, not trying to go too much higher past that. And then I'm definitely not going past or over a lot of this eye work I did, so hopefully you can see how that little eyeliner map is a good base look, but also very helpful. And then I'm going to start gently blending upwards. I kind of feel where my brow bone is. And then just like push. And this was all just with this crayon and a little bit tapped onto this brush. Let me show you. This is nice because this product gives you some time to work before it sets. I love that French fry shade so much. It's like the perfect brown bronze. And as you can see, it like maintained the eyeliner and everything. That darkest eyeliner is still set there. So now I'm gonna go under just on the outside. It gives this nice warmth and sheen, and then I kind of just like tap it out with my fingers. And go back in with this original dark brown that we used, where we kind of went over our eyes and just set the outside a little bit. Again, filling in this kind of cat eye area, but not going below it. And again, I like to tap and kind of push things in one direction when I have like this base like this. And I'm not going too far all at once. When there's less on the brush, I'll start kind of tapping a tiny bit upwards. So now I'm going to go back in with those initial eyeliners, the kind of watercolor like brown from NYX, and I just kind of go over the lash line and redefine that original little wing. And same thing with the darker eyeliner too. Go over that, redefine as much as you want. If you want it softer, don't use the darkest black. If you definitely want that bold smoky effect, I like to kind of use this combo together. Now the last step in a look like this, again, like this whole video, you could stop here. You could be done here. You could even add a little bit more brown and build up your smoky eye as high, shape it however you want. I also like to add a shimmer at the end of this too, so you could keep going and add a shimmer right in the middle. Halo eye effect, like right tapped in the middle all the way up basically to the brow is like my favorite effect. Anything from this That's So Taupe would be so pretty. Just these like neutrals. I have Snake Eyes, Cold Blooded, and Slated. There's also this Constrictor shade, really cool. This Avocado Toast, again, I think I mentioned it earlier, but like spicy. Oh my gosh, such a pretty like greenish like antique bronze shade. I think for today, because I don't get to use it enough and it is just like such a pretty shade, is this gold from Give Me Glow. I haven't really purchased a lot from Give Me Glow since they converted over to like their smaller, more standard size pan. I'm just gonna dip right into this gold. It's so pretty. And then this is the one from the Morphe palette. It's over here on the end, not the middle. I can show you guys that one too. But just to show you like why the Give Me Glow shimmers are like my favorite. This one is more of like a wet shine, but it's not very impactful on the lids. And it also has more of like an orange to it, where this one really is more of like a true golden, which I really like. I'm just going to tap upwards. So I'm going to start in the middle of my lid. I think I'm going to go to both eyes because this is so pigmented. Basically, you start with like the most intense pigment in the middle, and then I kind of work my way above. And then with a clean finger, I'm going to start tapping like each side. It's kind of like the blending technique I use. So here, difference between blended and still needing a little tapping out. Throw on my favorite mascara, the Clinique High Impact. I just keep going back to this one. I love it so much. It definitely Just doesn't feel as heavy as drugstore mascara is. There's the difference. Okay guys, oh my gosh, I'm all swatched up. That's it for basically the eyes and complexion. I'm gonna do a quick lip with you because I got some new stuff from Moira. I got, basically this is not a new formula. I replaced Nude and Sold Out in my Lip Divine liquid lipsticks. And then I also picked up a new shade in the line, at least new to me. They've had it out for a little bit, but it's called Chic 007, and it's a lot like Sold Out and Nude. Closer to Sold Out, but it's a little bit cooler. It doesn't have quite so much of a warm kind of reddish orangey undertone coming through. So I have been leaning towards this one a lot. And then I also picked up a luminizer gloss in the shade Main Squeeze 15. And I really liked Red Hot. That was like a really pretty one, and it was very pigmented. So I was curious about other colors in the line if they were equally as pigmented. And so far, at least the second shade I picked up is. So let me go ahead and put on this combination. That is Chic. I'm gonna line it with BFF2 from ColourPop. I love their lip liners too. Lip liners, eyeliners. ColourPop does it so good. Okay, and let's add that gloss. Oh my gosh, it's so like thick and sticky. It reminds me of like a matte gloss. Okay. The other gloss I got from Moira in this line was, it was a red gloss, but it was also a shimmery gloss. This one doesn't have any shimmer. Yeah, it's pigmented, like opaque. Ooh. What do you guys think? If I really wanted to take this look next level, I could do one more thing. Do you guys want more? More makeup? Okay, let's do it. So on top of this, you also could just pick out your favorite indie shimmer and top that as well. I think I'm gonna do a refresh here. And just top that only on the lid in the middle. And it just gives another layer to the luminosity of your look. So there you go, kids. I've given you bonus after bonus of smoky makeup looks in this video. That's it for today's video, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed or inspired by one of the many makeup techniques I've used today. This look we did all the way through, but there was many stopping points where hopefully you can create a very quick look. I love this effect. I love these colors together. This brown smoky look is always something that makes me feel pretty and bombshell when I do it. So I just wanted to play around with this color and these techniques today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I'm so glad to see you guys, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.